The jungle was alive with drums, night, torches, a circle of priests around a stone altar. In the heart of the temple, a man is held down. His chest rises and falls in terror. The priest's blade glints. And then, a plunge. The heart is lifted, still beating, blood spilling into the fire. The crowd roars, but something else moves. Witnesses swore the sky itself shifted. A shadow swept across the stars. It was as if the blood, hot, pure, untainted, had called something. The Mayans called it feeding the gods. The Aztecs believed the sun would die without it. But what did they truly summon? Across Mesopotamia, Egypt, Greece, blood was the bridge. It was not a ritual of savagery, but of precision, because the ancients knew something we have forgotten. Blood is not just fluid, it is covenant, it is frequency, it is gateway, and the question that lingers, echoing from temple ruins and bones buried in ash. What truly flows within the vein, and who was drinking? The ancients believed the gods drank it. They were certain, without blood, the sun itself would die. But that was then, centuries ago. Savage, primitive, barbaric.
Now, fast forward into our modern world, a world of science, laboratories, and sterile white walls. We believe ourselves advanced, civilized, beyond ritual. And yet, in a sealed laboratory, fluorescent lights, a cold room sealed from the outside world, a subject lies strapped to a table. Above him, a bag of blood drips, not his own. The transfusion begins. Monitors flicker, numbers spike. But then, something impossible. The man begins to speak in a voice not his own, in languages he has never learned. His eyes roll back, but the words pour out, ancient, guttural, commanding. The scientists freeze. One whispers, "Shut it down." But it is too late. The blood has carried more than oxygen, more than DNA. It has carried memory, it has carried will, it has carried something that does not belong in this body. This was not a myth. It was a classified experiment, hidden in archives, denied by officials, whispered of by insiders. And if true, it means blood is not just biology. It is transmission, it is spirit, it is gateway. So we ask again, what truly flows within the vein? And who is listening? Blood. We're told it matters because of DNA, the double helix, the sacred blueprint of life. Yes, DNA encodes proteins. It shapes the body. It determines the color of your eyes, the texture of your skin. But what if that is only the surface? What if DNA, and by extension, blood, is not just biology, but code? Modern science whispers this in fragments, buried studies most never read. In Moscow, scientists discover that DNA emits biophotons, particles of light. A faint glow, like a candle in the dark, flickering inside every cell. In Germany, experiments reveal that DNA behaves like a liquid crystal antenna, tuned not just to chemistry, but to frequency. In the United States, researchers showed DNA can be reprogrammed with sound and intention. The vibrations of words, even prayers, can shift its structure. If this is true, then blood is more than a fluid. It is a bioelectrical plasma, a living circuit, carrying not just oxygen, but information. Think of it, every drop of blood is a library, a memory field, a transmitter of ancestral signals. The ancients intuited this. They did not speak of genes or epigenetics, but they knew blood remembers. Blood carries the will of the Father, the soul of the tribe, the covenant of the gods. And if DNA is programmable, if blood is an interface, then who or what has been writing upon it? This is where forbidden science meets forbidden ritual. Today, CRISPR and RNA technology are hailed as miracles. But behind the sterile language of gene editing lies an echo of something ancient: blood alchemy. They are not just rewriting genomes. They are retuning the very frequency of human vessels. The ancients offered blood on altars. The modern world offers it on the operating table. The language has changed. The gods, perhaps not. Since the dawn of time, blood has bound humanity in chains both sacred and terrifying. Every covenant, every oath that mattered most, was written not in ink, but in blood. The Bible declares, "For the life of the flesh is in the blood." The Quran forbids its consumption, warning of a boundary too sacred to cross. Ancient Gnostics, occultists, alchemists, all whispered the same truth: blood is the seat of power. But why blood? Why not gold, or fire, or breath? Because blood carries lineage. Blood transmits memory. Blood is continuity. It is not just red fluid. It is the binding thread of identity, passed from father to son, queen to heir, dynasty to dynasty. This is why pharaohs guarded their bloodlines as fiercely as their thrones, why medieval monarchs claimed blue blood, separating themselves from the masses, and why the Merovingians, the so-called bloodline of Christ, were hunted across Europe. Across every empire, the same obsession repeats: kings and priests fixated not on wealth, but on the purity of their blood. And beneath it, a darker ritual: sacrifice. From the altars of Canaan to the chambers of Aztec pyramids, blood was the offering demanded. Virgin blood, firstborn blood, the currency of covenant. And here lies the forbidden question: who or what demanded it? Was it God who required blood sacrifice? Or something older, something hidden, feeding on the resonance locked within blood? Blood is more than crimson fluid coursing through your veins. It is liquid light, electricity in circulation, a capacitive transmission system humming beneath your skin. DNA as antenna, the forbidden signal inside your veins. Something more sinister than chemistry is at work. We are told that DNA is nothing more than code, 4 letters twisting inside a double helix. But what if that's a lie of omission? Hidden in the silence of blood, researchers have found something disturbing. DNA does not sit quietly. It hums. It whispers. It emits faint electromagnetic signals, as if each strand were a living antenna, receiving, storing, and broadcasting information. Imagine it. Every heartbeat, every drop of blood, carrying not just chemistry, but a signal. A broadcast that connects you to the field of reality itself. And here's the chilling thought: signals can be tuned. They can be jammed. They can be hijacked. Ancient mystics spoke of prana, of chi, of life force energy flowing through the body. Today, scientists describe it in colder terms: biophotons, structured water, electromagnetic resonance. Different words, but the same forbidden truth. Your blood is not just life, it is communication. Now consider the world around you. HAARP, 5G, nanotechnology. Systems that bathe entire populations in invisible frequencies. And inside your veins, graphene, metals, particles so fine they move with your blood. If DNA is an antenna, then you are a receiver. And if you are a receiver, someone, somewhere, may already be broadcasting through you. Blood is no longer just your own. The question is, who else is inside the signal? The story of blood has never been simple. From the jungle altars of forgotten tribes to the marble temples of Egypt and Babylon, to the sterile white laboratories of the modern age, one truth echoes across time: blood is the currency of power. The ancients knew it. They carved their kingdoms into stone and sealed them with sacrifice. Every drop spilled was a contract, a covenant with forces that walked in shadows. And today, the sacrifices are quieter, the language more clinical. But the covenant remains. We are told it is medicine, innovation, progress, gene editing, enhancement, longevity. But beneath the polished surface lies the same ancient hunger to possess the vessel of blood. Because in the veins of humanity flows more than plasma, more than proteins. It flows memory, will, spirit, signal. And now, as frequencies saturate the air, as machines rewrite the genome, as nanotech weaves itself into red cells, we stand on the threshold of something both promised and warned of. What if the signal of your blood no longer belongs to you? What if the gate within your veins, once reserved for soul, for spirit, becomes a portal for something else? The elites, the sorcerers, the technocrats, they are not chasing wealth. They are chasing the bloodline, because he who controls the blood controls the bridge between man and the divine. This is just the beginning. If you dare to step further into the shadows, subscribe to Beyond the Known. Because in our next descent, we follow the trail of a far older intelligence, one whispered of in secret archives and coded myths. They called her the Red Queen. And her game is not yet finished.